All right, picture two friends, Sarah and Tom. They're the same age, work at the same company, and they both have the exact same goal: retire as a millionaire. For 30 years, they both invest like clockwork. But when they finally trade their briefcases for beach chairs, one of them will have hundreds of thousands of dollars more to actually spend than the other. What's the secret? It's not some risky stock pick. It's that one of them understood a simple truth about taxes that the other one missed. And that one choice made decades earlier is the difference between a good retirement and a great one. Everyone talks about the tax benefits of a 401k versus a Roth IRA, but they rarely show you the real math. Today, we're going to put them head to head, running the numbers through a full 30-year career and into retirement. You'll see that the account with the bigger balance at the party isn't always the one that wins. The real winner is the person with more cash in their pocket. So, let's crunch the numbers. Section 1. The setup. 2 savers, 2 choices. To make this a fair fight, let's lay down the ground rules. Sarah and Tom are both 35, and they each make a solid $80,000 a year. Their company has a pretty standard 401k match. They'll match 100% of employee contributions up to 3% of their salary. For both Sarah and Tom, that's a potential $2,400 of free money every year. Here's where their stories split. Sarah goes with the traditional 401k. She's all about that immediate tax break. She decides to contribute 10% of her salary, or $8,000 a year. Since these contributions are pre-tax, her taxable income instantly drops from $80,000 to $72,000. In her 22% federal tax bracket, that move saves her $1,760 in taxes this year. Her take-home pay only goes down by $6,240, even though a full $8,000 is hitting her retirement account. Plus, she's contributing well over 3%, so she snags the full $2,400 employer match. All told, a cool $10,400 is flowing into her traditional 401k every single year. Now for Tom, he's heard about the magic of tax-free growth, so he opts for the Roth path. To keep this an apples-to-apples comparison, he uses his company's Roth 401k. He also puts in 10% of his salary, $8,000 a year, but his contributions are made with after-tax dollars. He doesn't get that upfront tax deduction, so his paycheck feels the full $8,000 drop. But, and this is a key detail, Tom also gets the $2,400 employer match. Here's the twist. By law, employer matching funds have to go into a traditional 401k account, even if you're contributing to a Roth 401k. So Tom now has 2 accounts, his Roth 401k getting his $8,000 and a traditional 401k getting the company's $2,400. While the recent Secure 2.0 Act allows employers to offer the match as a Roth contribution, it isn't mandatory, and most companies haven't set that up yet. So for our story, we'll stick with the most common scenario. Let's recap. Sarah is investing $10,400 a year into one big traditional 401k. Tom is investing the same $10,400 a year, but it's split, $8,000 into a Roth 401k and $2,400 into a traditional 401k. Same amount of money going in. The race is on. Section 2. The growth phase, the on-paper winner. For the next 30 years, Sarah and Tom climb the corporate ladder and let their investments work their magic. We'll assume a pretty standard long-term market return of 7% a year. Now, let's fast forward 30 years and crash their retirement party. Sarah pulls up her 401k statement and her jaw just about hits the floor. Her consistent $10,400 annual investment has ballooned into a massive $1,043,400. She did it. She's officially a 401k millionaire. She feels like a genius. The pre-tax savings felt great, and now she has a huge nest egg. What about Tom? He checks his accounts. His Roth 401k from his $8,000 yearly contributions has grown to $802,600. His traditional 401k, which only held the $2,400 annual match, is now worth $240,800. His grand total is $1,043,400. At the party, they clink glasses. On paper, they look identical. They both cross the $1 million finish line. It seems like it didn't matter which account they picked, But this is where the real math begins, because the money you've saved isn't the same as the money you get to spend. Section 3. The retirement reality. The taxman arrives. It's time to actually live off this money. Both Sarah and Tom want to have about $60,000 a year for travel, hobbies, and life's expenses. This is where their paths take a very sharp turn. Let's start with Sarah. To get $60,000 for the year, she has to pull from her traditional 401k, and every single dollar she takes out is taxed as ordinary income. Let's say she's in a 22% federal tax bracket in retirement. To get $60,000 after tax, she can't just withdraw $60,000. She has to pull out more to cover the tax bill. A quick bit of math shows she needs to withdraw about $76,923. The tax man gets his $16,923, and she's left with her $60,000. Her $1 million account is being drained by over $76,000 every year, even though she's only living on $60,000. Now let's look at Tom. He's in a completely different boat. He also wants $60,000 to spend, but he has two buckets to pull from, his Roth 401k and his taxable traditional 401k. This gives him incredible power. To get his $60,000, he can be strategic. He decides to pull the big chunk, say $50,000 from his Roth 401k. He already paid the taxes on this money 30 years ago, so it comes out completely 100% tax-free. $50,000 out means $50,000 in his bank account. He still needs another $10,000. He takes that from his smaller traditional 401k. This part is taxable, but since his taxable income is so low now, he's only in the 12% bracket. To get $10,000 after tax, he only needs to withdraw about $11,364. Let's add it up. Tom's total withdrawal is $50,000 from the Roth and $11,364 from the traditional. That's a total of $61,364. This is the moment that makes the whole debate crystal clear. To get the exact same $60,000 lifestyle, Sarah has to withdraw almost $76,000 a year. Tom only has to withdraw about $61,000 a year. Think about that. For the same lifestyle, Sarah is torching an extra $16,000 of her nest egg every single year. Over a 25-year retirement, that's a difference of nearly $400,000 in spendable wealth. Tom's identical portfolio leaves him with far more actual money to spend. And the story doesn't stop there. The advantages for Tom's Roth strategy just keep stacking up. First, Social Security. For a lot of retirees, their Social Security benefits become taxable if their income is too high. And guess what counts as income? Withdrawals from a traditional 401k. So not only is Sarah's $76,000 withdrawal getting taxed, but it could also cause her Social Security checks to get taxed, creating a tax torpedo that sinks her spending money even further. Tom's tax-free Roth withdrawals? They don't count towards that income calculation at all. He can pull money from his Roth without affecting his Social Security benefits one bit. Second, required minimum distributions, or RMDs. The IRS makes you start taking money out of traditional retirement accounts currently at age 73, whether you need it or not. So Sarah will be forced to take withdrawals and pay taxes every year. A Roth 401k also technically has RMDs, but Tom has a simple, game-changing move. He can roll his Roth 401k into a Roth IRA, which has no RMDs for the original owner. He can let that money keep growing completely tax-free for the rest of his life. Finally, there's pure flexibility. A Roth IRA, which we haven't even focused on, lets you pull out your direct contributions at any time for any reason with no tax or penalty. It can double as a super-powered emergency fund, a flexibility a 401k just can't match. So, what's the real takeaway from the math? That upfront tax break from the traditional 401k is tempting, but it's kind of a mirage. You're just delaying the tax bill, and you might end up paying way more over your lifetime, especially when you factor in taxes on Social Security and RMDs. Paying your taxes now with a Roth account buys you something priceless in retirement. Freedom from taxes, freedom from RMDs if you roll it to a Roth IRA, and the freedom to spend every single dollar you see in your account. For most people, the smartest strategy looks something like this. Contribute to your company 401k just enough to get the full employer match. It's an instant 100% return. Never, ever leave this free money on the table. Next, if you're eligible, pivot and max out a Roth IRA. For 2026, that limit is projected to be $7,500. This gives you ultimate flexibility and tax-free growth. If you still have money to save after that, go back to your company's 401k and contribute more, ideally to the Roth 401k if you have one. The higher limits, $24,500 in 2026, let you shelter a massive amount of money. This isn't just about paying taxes now versus later, it's about how much of your hard-earned money you actually get to keep. And, as the numbers show, having a big bucket of tax-free money in retirement is the real key to a wealthy life. If this breakdown helped clear things up, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. We're always running the numbers to help you make smarter moves with your money. Thanks for watching.